Most brands today look better than they ever have. The design is cleaner, the copy is sharper, the social presence is consistent, and somehow none of it is working the way it used to. When AI tools made it possible for anyone to produce professional quality content in minutes, the entire visual and written standard of brands got raised overnight. What used to take a team of skillful people and a serious budget, a well-designed website, a polished campaign, a content strategy, now takes a weekend and few subscriptions, which means looking professional no longer means anything because everyone looks professional now. A lot of brands responded to this by producing more content, more campaigns, more touchpoints, as if the answer of being ignored was to show up louder and more often.
Post.
And what happened is that the audience got better at ignoring them. The brands that are actually cutting through in 2026 are not the ones working harder at execution. They are the ones who stopped and asked the different question, not how do we look, but what do we actually stand for? And does anyone believe us? This is a much harder question to answer, and most brands are avoiding it. Things has entirely changed about how people find brands. More and more, when someone needs a recommendation, a tool, a service, a product, they're not typing into Google and scrolling through results. They're asking an AI assistant and getting direct answer, a short list, a few sentences of explanation, and then they make a decision. Your brand is either in that answer or it is not. What determines whether your brand is in that answer or not is not your ad spend. It is not your follower count. It is your reputation, the cumulative weight of everything credible, useful, and consistent that you have put out over time. AI models are trained on that material. They learn who is worth mentioning. The honest version of this is that most brands have not said anything worth repeating. They have posted, sure, they have advertised, they have optimized, but they have not built a body of genuine thinking that other people find valuable enough to reference. HubSpot spent a decade writing things people actually wanted to read about marketing. That is why when an AI is asked about marketing tools, HubSpot comes up. Not because of a clever SEO trick, because they were genuinely useful consistently for a very long time. Now, the question worth sitting is, if someone asks an AI to describe your brand right now, what would it say? And is that what you want it to say? Most people were thought that a brand is something you design, and design is visual, so when the brand feels off, you redesign it. But in 2026, with AI producing visual on demand, the visual layer has become the easy part. Patagonia's brand is not powerful because of their design system. It is powerful because their founder gave the company away rather than compromise what he believed in. That choice said more about their brand in one day than a decade of marketing could. Basecamp built a fiercely loyal audience, not by being the most polished software company, but by having opinions that most software companies are too cautious to express. They said things their competitors would not say. They made enemies, and the people who agreed with them become their true believers. Character is the part of the brand that cannot be designed in a software tool. It comes from a set of real beliefs and the willingness to act on them when it matters, especially when it costs something. Most brands today are not willing to go there, which is exactly why the ones that do stand out so completely. If your brand's relationship with the audience lives primarily on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, or any platform you did not build, you are renting, not owning. This is not a metaphor, it is a business reality. Every follower, every subscriber, every community member on someone else's platform is an audience you access on that platform storms. When the algorithm shifts, when the reach drops, when the platforms decide to charge for distribution, you have no leverage. And you know which platform I'm talking about. You accepted that deal when you signed up. The brands that have figured this out are building direct relationships. Email list, our podcast, someone actually waits for, a community that meets because people want to be there, not because an algorithm surfaced a post. These are slower to build and less exciting to talk about than a viral campaign. But they compound in a completely different way. The goal is not to leave social media. The goal is to stop it as your foundation when it was never designed to be one. Brand strategy in 2026 is not a new set of tactics. It is a return of a question that was always the most important one. Do people believe you? Not just that you are competent, not just that you are consistent, but that you are real, that there is something genuine behind what you put out. something that would still be there even if it stopped being commercially convenient. That is what brands that last are built on. It is the hardest thing to fake, which is exactly why it is worth building. I hope this video was helpful and you get some sort of value from it. And if you find it useful, consider subscribing. I think it's time to grow this channel. Bye for now.